Hey everyone, Mike here from MLive&apos. Joined by Justin Rogers. Lions won, I guess, whatever this was. Justin.
It's gonna go right there under that playoff banner.
17-10, quote unquote win in the preseason finale against the Buffalo Bills. Not a whole lot of takeaways from this game, Justin. A slew of starters did not play. All of the injured guys, nicked up guys, did not play. There were healthy scratches in Matthew Stafford and Rasheed Mathis, Darius Slay, on and on.
Yeah.
Any player you can name right now didn't play. There's a pretty good chance. Was there a takeaway you took out of this game?
No.
There's one that I took.
Yeah, no, I look at Tahir Whitehead. I think that's been an interesting one for me. As a guy that didn't start last game, this game he did start. They made him play almost the entire game. Something's going on there. I tried to pry it out of him in the locker room. He played coy with me, but said, if I have to earn my job all over again, I'm ready to do that.
He might have been a little more forthcoming later on. A couple of us had come up to him later on. Maybe it was just the constant prodding, but eventually he had conceded that it's a performance-related thing, that the coaches weren't getting enough production out of him. And he was asked, do you need something like this to motivate you? He said, I don't need the motivation. I'm plenty motivated myself, all this kind of stuff. But clearly the coaches just aren't happy with the production he's had in the preseason.
And he said as much as himself, he wasn't happy with the way he played in game 1 and 2. I feel he closed the preseason out with 2 better performances. I think he's still probably the starter in week 1 because the options there are not very good behind him. Right. But it's not quite a Fairley thing. It's not where he was, benched for being sloppy off the field. Maybe, just needed a kick in the pants to reaffirm what he's all about.
Yeah, Travis Lewis is a good special teams player, but he's not the defensive player that Tahir Whitehead is. I'd be shocked if Tahir Whitehead weren't starting next week in San Diego. Flipping it around on offense, I was impressed by TJ Jones.
Yeah.
And, I just feel like very rarely does a player sway his case for a roster spot one way or the other in this game. These coaches already have months and months and months, or in Jones's case, more than a year of evaluations on these guys. They know what they can do, and they know how they would fit in to whatever the coaches want to do. But he is so close with Jeremy Ross for that last receiver spot, and they do provide 2 very different things. Jeremy Ross being the return man, whereas TJ Jones might have more upside as a receiver. Had 2 catches today, including that 65-yard touchdown. That's a great play to catch the ball in traffic and then turn the burners to get to the end zone. Nice speed there. But I was really impressed on the punt return. 18-yard punt return, had a really nice cut upfield, showed good vision, nice acceleration. The Lions have been looking all offseason, Justin, for competition to Jeremy Ross in the return jobs. No one's really surfaced, but maybe TJ Jones is in that discussion. He's right there. It'll be very interesting to see what the Lions do between Jeremy Ross and TJ Jones for that last receiver spot.
I still think it's Ross's job at this point. I compared it to Kellen Moore's opportunity to compete for the backup job last year. I never felt he was that serious. I never thought that TJ Jones's reps in games and who they came against ever indicated a seriousness about his fit as a return man. Showed good stuff against the players of the competition he faced, but never really got a chance to shine against a first team or even a second team punt return, punt coverage unit. Great reception. I thought that they were trying to hide TJ Jones last game. They're going to have a lot harder time hiding him now, sneaking him through to a practice squad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be... I guess maybe an alternative possibility is they keep 6 receivers, which seems outlandish based on all the roster projections we've been doing, but who knows what Kellen Moore's status is, even though he really, I think, solidified or had his best performance definitely of the offseason. Took some really big hits in there, delivered some nice passes. I think finished 16 and 22, something like that. A very efficient night for him after a bad offseason.
Yeah, 16 and 22 for Kellen Moore. I doubt they keep 6 receivers. I don't think they have that flexibility with the roster with some of the injuries up front on both sides of the ball. They might have to go an extra man deep on offensive line and defensive line.
Yep.
If they do that, you're already talking about cutting players at other positions.
Right.
I just don't think 6 deep at receivers feasible, especially with the players the Lions have. It's not like they have some great gem they have to hold on to and on the roster or risk losing him. But
TJ Jones,
maybe,
yeah.
And I think you're right. I think they were trying to hide him. He played 9 offensive snaps,
7, I believe,
7 the week before. They throw him out there for a punt return, 18 yards. Then he caught 2 passes, but one of them was for 65 yards.
Yeah.
There's, he's on the radar, and it'll be. I think Jeremy Ross has the edge for that last receiver job. But the point is they have, to me, options now. Before this game, I would have been shocked if they would have kept T.J. Jones. Now I wouldn't be as shocked because I think he can, to a point, replace what Jeremy Ross gives you on special teams, and he has more upside as a receiver. And sometimes it's valuable to keep those young guys and to keep 1 or 2 developmental guys at the end of that position to see if they develop going forward.
2 guys fighting for a job tonight that had, I thought, nice performances. Philip Hunt and Jamel Cujo. It's become so commonly mispronounced that he's just accepted that nickname as his last name. But Cujo, a lot of pressure, tipped 2 passes, knocked 1 down, sack, another QB pressure. Thought very strong performance from a guy battling for a rusher spot. I think he's kind of in at this point anyway. I'm not convinced Karan Reed's going to be ready for the opener. Just got out of a boot late last week or a couple days ago. I don't know what day of the week it is anymore once you get really deep into this preseason. And Philip Hunt, another sack for him. I think he's feeling pretty good about his roster chats, but he said he's still going to go home and pray about it.
On offense, I think Zach Zenner's safe.
Yeah.
Despite a suboptimal night when it comes to rushing the football.
I don't know how much that was his fault.
That's my point. Is that George Wynn struggled. He struggled. Kellen Moore somehow completed 16 of 22 passes, including 7 of 8 in the first half, despite facing significant pressure almost every time he dropped back. It was a hodgepodge offensive line. I saw Al Bond in the starting lineup. I saw Xavier Proctor out there in the starting lineup. It was a hodgepodge group, but they protected their top guys, and it showed. There was constant pressure. There were no holes. I think Zenner's safe despite all of the pressures that we saw from the offensive line.
Only in high school football in the 4th preseason game can a defensive tackle 3 months ago start on the offensive line.
Practice squad defensive tackle.
Yeah, I mean, that's just scary. And that's not even where the pressures come from. I mean, up the middle, Joe Madsen, a guy they added last week, really struggled tonight. Andre Fluellen, you guys may have heard of this guy. Looks like he's got a bright future in this league. Destroyed Madsen on 1 snap, and yeah.
The practice squad, defensive tackle we're talking about, that's Xavier Proctor. Fun fact about Xavier Proctor, who is nicknamed the Proctologist by Nick Fairley. That's I think my favorite Nick Fairley story.
I don't think he likes that story. I don't know. That's not a nickname I think anybody's looking to embrace.
Proctor is among the 22 cuts I think we have in the next couple of days. We're going to be all over MLive the next couple of days as the Lions make their way down to the 53-man limit. Deadline is 4 p.m. Saturday. For Justin Rogers, I'm Kyle Meinke. We are MLive. Keep it right here.